JackeyLove on Zeri. I mean, people will be watching this one, looking for a masterclass performance.
So, I know you're giving up a lot of lane pressure by going this rotation, but like Corki Zeri just seems both unbelievably strong champions,
True.
right? Corki, I'm sure it's going to be locked in. It just has way too much presence. This is not 12.3 yet, so, you know, we haven't seen those Corki nerfs necessarily come out here in the LPL. And now the question is, do we see Zeri? Or do you go, hey, we have this mid laner that wants to sit back and chill. Maybe we want something that brings more presence in that bot lane matchup and you know, plays with more range in the laning phase. Because Zeri's auto attack range, only 500. You are relying on that Q for, I believe it's 750 off the top of my head. Might be 850. Point is, it's long. Goes a far distance.
It does, and hasn't even been looked at for the time being. There's Xin Zhao, so don't put it past Way to pick the jungler that is just so good at the moment. Now, other side, top esports, do we see Zeri? Do we see Zeri? Things like Aphelios for JackeyLove as well has been a favorite. I mean, Lyric, I can kind of feel that maybe these AD carries are just like, nah, forget it. We don't want to play it. No? Oh, I hope I jinxed it. I think
you pick it. I think especially seeing JackeyLove play it will be so fun, right? JackeyLove, the AD carry who is going to step forward, who is going to play aggressively, having this level of mobility by locking in the Zeri.
There we go, dude. All right.
We need to remember, it is a flex, right? It could go into you know, the hands of Knight. But either way, Knight or JackeyLove piloting this pick sounds freaking exciting.
Yeah, it does.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we get Zeri in the end. Very, very cute, and we get a Nautilus alongside with it if it does go in the bottom lane. I like that you talked about the flexibility of the pick. Haven't seen it here yet, but at the very least, keep our eyes open. So, for RNG response, still strong 80 carries on the board, Lyric. Or do you look for a support early? Or do you just ignore me?
I would be really surprised if they didn't just look for an AD carry here. If they do this, they're obviously saying, hey, we want to get this into the Gwen pick and give Bin something he can. You know, try and find advantages in the lane in. I do think the lane is a little bit Gwen favored early on. It's a very volatile matchup. Depends a lot on, you know, Gwen like managing her Q stacks and Akali finding the right time to E in and abuse some of these windows where he does use these abilities. So Ban's going to start coming out, and it looks like RNG are speculating that the Gwen is a flex pick as well, right? Gwen can be played into the jungle. Tian can look to pilot that one, so going to be taking the Renekton off the board.
I also like that they know that Knight will play this mid too, so flex pick after flex pick going through the 4-head to 5-head draft. And we get the 80 carry band away, so RNG, this is what they traded off, getting Bin that champion, but losing away some of these key 80 carries. I think Gala's going to be sent to like, what, Jin duty or something like, like an A tier?
Gala has only played 3 champions so far this split, which is very different from his mid laner, who I believe has played 10.
Yep.
He's played Aphelios, he's played Jinx, and he has played Jin.
Oh.
So he's going to be pushed down in the pool, but you have to expect RNG or red side. They didn't ban Zeri, they didn't pick Zeri. They clearly must have some idea and some answer into the Zeri pick that they are willing and ready to bring out.
Good point. We'll see if that's true. 10 seconds and another 80 carry. There goes Jinx. So it must be something specific because now both 80 carries are gone. There has been talk of Tristana. So I'm not sure, Lyric, if you want to elaborate on any of this. We'll wait and see what's picked. But
I mean, if they want, right, if you want to punish Zeri when she's weak, that is in the early laning phase. Tristana's all-in potential, absolutely terrifying. We've seen it many times before in many past metas. So looks like they're going to go with it, Hysterics. You called it. You're staying on top of the game. We're going to get Gala jumping all over the Rift. Also having that ultimate to keep enemies at arm's length. And for TS, they are setting up for a very short-range composition. They want to look for the all-in. They know RNG do have that range advantage. And now it's going to be fun to see where Tian goes with this jungle pick. We have seen some Hecarim so far. I remember Karsa specifically pulling that out the other day. I feel like something that can get on top of the enemy backline is what makes the most sense for top esports.
Yeah, and an old school pick. I love it. Seeing the Hecarim here again. So Tian pulls that out as he returns to top esports. Now, other side. We need a support, Lyric. And for RNG, what's up?
For the side of RNG, right, I think you're looking for all-in. The Leona is definitely still there. They do just lock it in instantly, and it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're looking for the aggression in bot lane. You're looking for these engages. You now have engaged. Also, once we get to the mid-game, if we get into any turn scenarios on things like Baron or Dragon, Leona being able to start that up. And yeah, I think RNG's comp makes a lot of sense. Front-to-back team fighting, you have been there, able to cause some chaos on the back line, which there isn't really much of. You're pretty much just going to be looking to target JackeyLove specifically. Where for TES, ton of early and mid-game skirmishing. Like the second we hit the level 6 mark, Tian and I are going to look to be all over the map, just causing complete and utter chaos.
RNG are on a tear, 5-1. Lyric said before, their first series loss was at the start of the split to FPX, but since then they've been ramping up and acting like a top 2 team. As we welcome you to Summoners Rift Top Esports, they're on a negative win schedule, 2-3. That ain't the top esports you LPL fans know and love, so we'll see if with the Zeri, they can bring it all back. Now, Lyric, where the heck do you want to start? Because we have a Tristana, we have a Zeri, we have a Hecarim, we have an Akali top. Like, take your pick.
I think we can start with the Hecarim, right? Because we've seen some Zeri now. I think a lot of people know what to expect from Zeri at this point. Hecarim's a champion we are only just starting to see some of. Karsa and Wayward have both pulled out the champion. Phase Rush is the go-to rune of choice. You have the other like movement speed runes in that tree as well. Just being able to stick on top of targets in fights, be able to maintain that short range and get damage off, stick to the enemy. So we know what he's going to be doing, looking for some early aggressive plays once he hits that level 3 mark, but especially at level 6.
Waiting for it because level 6, you got Sylas, JackeyLove's Lightning Crash. Do you like Zeri? Are you on like the bandwagon of Zeri OP or Zeri weak? Where are you in this patch?
Oh, I think Zeri's incredibly strong. Okay. I think she's a very high like skill floor and skill stealing champion. Both I think incredibly high on her. We've already seen a lot of different performances come out across all regions, where we highlighted Betty in his performance. I believe it was yesterday. Because I casted it. Betty showing up, and I think he did a phenomenal one. But we've seen some less inspiring performances coming out from people like Elk, and you know I know it has picked up quite a few losses in some of the other regions like the LEC so far as well.
But again, LPL is very different, and not only with build pass, not only with how they play champion, but I feel like, you know, Renekton has been really big in our region before and not being really looked at the moment, but it's a champion that's done well, whereas in other regions like LEC or LCS, like it's been absolutely garbage. So again, different styles, different regions. Curious to see how Zeri adapts here. As what's taking your interest now?
Also cool to see Wayward going with the exhaust rather than the ignite.
True.
You'll still see a lot of players take ignite in this matchup. In solo queue does opt into this one, and we highlighted how Gwen should have the pressure early on. If it comes to a trade of just autos, Gwen will just be able to stack up that Conqueror, get that damage out early. You have the stacks on your Q to guarantee some good damage as well. Akali, you're trying to play it on a knife's edge. Hit some Qs when you can. If there's an opportunity where the wave is neutral and he wastes, like, let's say his Q, you can look to E and get a bit of a trade-off and W out. So for this foreseeable future, Wayward will have a bit of pressure, and we'll see how RNG navigate that with Way pathing down towards the bot side and wanting to abuse this Zeri.
Yeah, get her nice and early. JackeyLove level 2 here. Ming gets his end blade, but that was a good dodge. The dodge away from the Zeri with the Spark Surge means that JackeyLove can just pull back in the lane. So I want to come back to what you're talking about, because the early lane of Wayward looking really good. Walks his way in, funnily enough, to the RNG jungle up on the top side. And it's a good sign when we see, you know, good laning from someone who's joining the roster. When you have Zoom, when you have Tian in the same package, it feels like something that's you got to do really well here as you debut in the LPL.
And now we're going to see if they are able to capitalize on Bin.
Well, that exhaust coming in handy. Tian going to run him down. Bin not even going to use Summoner. And Wayward, big old welcome with first blood over to TES.
I mean, top esports are so happy with that one. Tian gets to not only farm all of his jungle camps, make his way up towards top for that gank, and everything was just smooth sailing for them. Wayward crashing the wave early, does get that bit of the bounce back. It sets it up. And for TS, this roster's a question mark, and we're getting to start to see it in action so far.
Yeah, first kill over to the Gwen as well. Magic resist to start the game off for Wayward. So picks up an amplifying time. So as the Gwen walks back to lane, a very good start for Tian too. I guess other questions need to be answered about Tian. Tian, someone who we know has had medical issues and hasn't been as successful as Xiaohu adapting to the roster. So, you know, today is a big day for him going up against Way. And Lyric, we talked about TES versus RNG history. I have to pause because Xiaohu, the solo kill man in the mid lane at the moment, is just pulling out Knight as a Corki.
Yeah, I mean, this is what Xiao does, has the first strike as well, so getting a bunch of gold, getting a bit more damage down as well.
Okay.
Knight can be forced back early, right? For Knight, he's waiting for that level 6 to come online. I think you're waiting to pair up a bit more with Tian, him bring the CC in, you be able to land your Tristana duck, maybe burn a flash, is concentrating down the bot lane.
Well, once again, Living Battery used to burn down Ming quite a little bit. JackeyLove building that up once again with Burst Fires getting sent out. And for RNG's bottom lane, continue looking for engagement. Nothing happens down here. They're going to back for now. And, you know, Lyric, after what we've just come through, remember that FPX versus Wayward Gaming, that was like walking into really good Mexican. Don't say anything like Chili. I've been to Chili's, dude. That thing is that sucks. I'm sorry. That's so bad. I don't know if you're gonna say that.
No. As someone who lives decently close to Mexico, the fact that you call Chili's a like Mexican restaurant is just hilarious.
What is it?
That is great.
Is it like fast food?
Great. No, it's. I mean, I just consider it like an American bar food. But hey,
Tian's back.
Bin might be bar food for Tian.
Remember, Bin doesn't have flash. As the ultimate comes through, Tian might actually get executed. The ignite down, Bin takes him in a 1v2. Wayward now standing there only at level 5. Bin against the turret, trying to dodge the snip, but Wayward gets the return. 2-0 Gwen, but Bin still style up in this top lane.
Right. TES were the ones who dedicated resource. Bin was able to get something out of an opportunity that probably should have had nothing. The downside is Wayward picking up another kill is huge. On top of the fact that he's going to deny another wave for Bin. Doesn't have TP up, is going to just have to walk to lane. As we go straight into the replay, Tian is looking for this. Instantly throws out the E. Gets some nice trades off with his passive as well. I love him throwing down the Shroud. Saves the second charge of the ultimate to finish it off. And sadly, Wayward does get that 4th stack for the full snip. Ease in, which does connect.
Yep.
And yeah, Dog will be able to back with a nice chunk of gold and try to maintain this advantage as he makes his way towards that Rift Maker.
It's going to be leeching Lear versus Alternator, but the catch is Mercury treads on top of that for Wayward. Level 6 now acquired, and he's got the snip again. I should say needlework, to use the proper language. So Tian has just been camping topside, and I love this because for RNG, we know that Bin is not the huge focus in this team, that Way is kind of everywhere. And Lyric, you and I were talking about this in week number 1, that Bin was often left on an island on this team.
Yeah, we saw in RNG's first 2 series, they were putting a lot in Xiaohu, but now it is about putting some into Bin topside. Wayward does have a ward, so he should be able to get out scot-free. As RNG putting a decent amount of pressure down the map right now. Way topside, Ming hovering around mid. Heck, Ming's making his way up towards top right now, and Herald's about to spawn.
Needlework comes through. I mean, Way now spotted out. The exhaust put down once again by Wayward. And he wants to snip again, so he gets the needlework just to clear the rest of the wave. Now, you mentioned Herald. I love this lyric because, like clockwork, we know that Herald is big. We love Herald. It's like going in, it's like finding $1,000 on the ground. But someone else has seen it as well, and someone's got to pick it up. And you play a game of chicken.
And I mean, for RNG, they're just going to be able to pick this one up. Looks like uncontested. Knight hovering over, but I don't think they're going to look for this play. Gala did make his way all the way towards mid, so looks like we'll lose a few CS to the turret. Is JackeyLove potentially able to pick up a plate?
Okay. Oh, it's Zeri. You're feeling pretty comfortable if you can do that. I believe so. That turret's lost in arms, so feels quite nice. Ming actually flashing forward. Wow, that all in, but the crash down comes through. It's lightning, but JackeyLove gets blown apart. Tristana for the win is now for Way. It's Tian versus him, and you can see right in range. Way not even going to ulti. Plays the game of chicken through here, but now Xiaohu's in. Tian! No, regrets, but he goes in, he gets it anyway. He's going around Xiaohu, dodging away. Tian! Look at the fancy feet, jumps back in. Xiaohu gets the trade, but Knight wants to re-engage. We're playing games of chicken all over the Rift.
Even Xiaohu's laughing. Tian is absolutely crazy. Goes for it, tries to bait them out, buying more time for Knight to make his way around as well. Gets one, and it's like, no, we're going back in. I want to go back to that bot lane, though. I don't know which of these plays we're going to get a replay for Hysterics.
Because Cabra.
I feel like, you know, nice hit.
Sorry, what replay?
Nice,
Take me back there. Take me back.
I mean, the point is, right, I feel like we're only going to get one replay. I doubt we get both, but who knows here in the LPL. The bot lane, we've been wondering, we've been speculating, hey, you brought the Tristana. The Tristana's brought out for the strong early all-in potential. When are we going to see it? We didn't see it in the first few levels. They hit the level 6 mark. Ming just, you know, throws everything out the window, gets the ultimate down, and man, Zeri went down in an instant, seeing the strength of this Tristana. Really nice preparation coming out from RNG to have this one prepared.
Yeah, now starting with the Dragon as well. If they get this, they've already picked up the Herald, and they picked themselves up a kill on some pretty crucial members. And you and I were talking about draft coming into this. I'm not sure if this is the right time to bring it up because Dragon is being contested. Top Esports don't have a jungler with ulti, but they don't have to face against package. I guess they're not going to risk it, and for TES, they just back off.
It's the right choice, right? Even Bin has TP up the top side. Just would be a very rough fight
Hello,
for them
Mark.
as Mark gets caught.
Hi, Mark. Flash away. Instantly, Mark regretting walking near the brush. That's a free summoner. And for Tian walking down as well. He wants to go in the heroic charge right up to Ming against the wall. Gala's out of there with the rocket jumpers. Engaged from Knight. He's stolen away the Corki ult too as they're looking for another. Over the wall. Way won't be hit. He's already used the Crescent Slash. And man, not sure about ability names this game, but I am sure the top esports want to bring the tempo up.
And this is a great example of what happens to you when you decide to make a play, right? They committed Corki to picking up Dragon, which gave Knight room, since TS were contesting, just go back to mid, clear out his mid wave, and give him the opportunity to roam down. But once RNG looked for that opportunity onto Mark. So, you know, a bit of cause and effect there for top esports to be able to find that kill.
Well, it's an early game with 7 kills in 11 minutes, and importantly enough, top esports have a gold lead now too. And I wanted to come back to draft because while RNG got the Dragon, well, they're probably going to be putting the Herald down here. It does feel like, you know, the skirmishing that they wanted to do is coming into fruition. You did talk about how they want to be gung-ho. RNG trying to match that with tempo right now and get some gold back themselves, though.
Oh, and they're going to be able to get a pretty good chunk of damage on this. They do have Tristana, who pushes turrets incredibly fast.
Yeah.
JackeyLove at least will be able to push them off at the end with the fact that both Tian and Mark have made their way here. So for top esports, for the fact that they have brought in 3 different members from the starters that we were seeing. Tian had played 2 games before this, but again, Xiaohu was the mainstay jungler this far.
Yeah.
Top esports looking as aggressive and chaotic in the early game as ever.
They are, and again, it's a good sight to see. Pulls the identity of top esports has been continues pressure out, but top esports
here we
gonna make
go.
a dive on top of Gala. No summoners up to a rocket jump. He buster shots them out, but now needs some explosive charge. JackeyLove under turret. Oh my god, it's the usual. Tian now in a bit of trouble from Xiaohu, keeps poking him down. Ming on the way. Is it Ming on the top side? It's a dive from Ben. Cleanly does it, dude. That's a world finalist diff up in that top lane.
Yeah, we didn't even get to see how it was done. Like you said, I mean, been world finalists, we keep harping on that, but Wayward is a new player. Wayward has played some Demacia Cup, mostly played LPL.
Then it's played on Tian.
This doesn't stop!
Yeah, it doesn't. Ming goes on in. The ultimate, the onslaught of shadows right on top of Xiaohu. Doesn't do anything, but Ming now getting low. Tian wants to run him down with a rampage. Dredge line and Knight's here with the abscond of Duck.
And look at Ming. Ming's laughing his face off. What is going on?
I don't think anyone knows, dude. There's a TP at the top lane. I think it ends there. 11 kills now, 13 minutes. Let's go.
Was this like a gentleman's agreement to just have as much fun possible?
Not sure. Where do you want to start? Bot. Let's go.
Yeah, we're going to see here Tian trying to go in. I don't know if he initially took aggro because it doesn't look like he did. He did get buster shotted away, but looks like it was just the Zeri. So we're going to see here Q does come out, has the passive auto to be able to get some more damage down. Baits out the W. Once Wayward doesn't have that, I mean, he's pretty much a free kill for Bin to go in. Doesn't even matter that the exhaust is there.
That was clean as hell. Like, that was beautiful.
That was a really good understanding of your cooldowns and how much damage you're able to put out, right? Yeah. Wayward getting a bit scared, throwing down the W in the ultimate, but was already chunked too low. He's still, you know, a bit far forward because he's trying to clear the minion wave with the abilities he's throwing down. Just opens up the opportunity for Bin to go in.
Huge Bin moment there. 2-2 Akali up in the top lane. Folks, we started this game with Wayward bringing up first blood, getting a lead in the lane. Bin now turns it around with the rocket belt attached. I think as well, now that we're getting first items, Lyric, you know, coming back to it, you know, compositions are important to me because in this game, when we have a lot of scaling on RNG, I do want to talk to you about these upcoming objectives, how RNG want to approach it, now they do have the lead in this game.
I'll be honest, I'm very curious to see how these compositions interact with each other, because I think they both have very clear identities in terms of how they want to play. RNG is, like we said, is the more like stock and standard. They have like different ways they can play out. They're going to have some side lane pressure with Bin. They have like strong backline carries put off damage on front line. They have frontliners. Like, it's all stock and standard. 1-4 into these strong 5v5s.
Yep.
So for top esports, right, it's like full-on dive. Everyone needs to go in. So if you can find opportunities where Tian, who is 3-2-3 right now, already has the turbo chem tank, if he gets onto Xiaohu or Gala and sets up for Knight to be able to follow up, you find that initial pick, bam, you could probably win that team fight. If that initial burst doesn't do you well, it gives RNG the opportunity to reposition and have Tristana and Corki just unload for free.
You don't want that. Top esports at least keeping the momentum going. They've got a Herald now in their back pocket. Herald number 2 to try and break down one of these outers. But Tian not interested in the top side. He's going to leave Knight by himself. We'll have to face Bin momentarily. I'm seeing Dragon being done on the bottom side. Way just going to set it up for RNG. And Lyric, now we have a big condition. I mean, that's 2 Dragons picked up in 15 minutes from RNG. As Knight's taken the ulti from Bin. Dredgeline doesn't connect on Mark. And Bin's not going to get engaged any further. Top esports don't want to stop, but RNG got plans of their own in the mid lane.
Yeah, the fact that TES have committed 3 to top side and aren't able to get anything off a dive just opens so many windows for RNG to be able to get something else somewhere on the map. To get some wards down in bot side, are able to take that mid lane turret, but TS just losing a bit of time. They still have Herald, so they should be able to guarantee, you know, one of these turrets going down. But the fact that RNG already have 2 turrets down makes it very simple for them to push out mid with their 2v2, hover towards topside for Bin, and set up for that last outer turret to be taken down.
And I love as well, like, if we're talking about hovering, whether it's around the objective timers for the package, that package is not on an 8-minute timer. It's going to pull up patch nodes like the library man I like to be. You know, 10 minutes has changed new. We get normal package timers, and we can see a Corki that aims at around the dragon. So, Lyric, it does feel nice seeing the end of Corki here, at least the end of huge priority Corki.
Whoa. That won't be until next patch. So it's 12.3.
I know. So this is the last, like, it could be the last hurrah, even though Corki is still kind of busted.
It could have and should have ended sooner. But yeah, I mean,
yeah.
He's still, you know, he will still see some play, even if maybe not the exact same amount. But Top Esports finally able to take down that turret up in top side. Both teams just trading sides for now. Dragon nowhere close to being able to come up. Top Esports are still the ones with that Herald. But instead of deciding to drop it top with Tian, they want to answer in mid and make sure that RNG aren't able to find anything. They will be walking into RNG's full vision, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of control wards there. That gives comfortability to Xiaohu, who can push this wave out and return. Now, folks, we'll slow down a little bit from the hustle and bustle we've had over the past couple of minutes, but I want you to take stock of where we're at in the game. 2-item territory approaching, and especially for JackeyLove, who will be hitting up the Titanic Hydra, which applies on the burst fire Q. Now, we know that's an auto. Medic explained it quite well. Your Q is an auto, and auto is...
Your Q is an auto, and your auto is a spell.
A spell, and, you know, your spell is not an auto, and your auto is a spell, and Q is a spell, but Q's not an auto. So if you could track all that, essentially, you just press Q. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what Zeri does. You know, you're all big brain, you're all challenger at this point, and as we see turrets trading side for side, standard practice here, Lyric. But Baron's coming up in 1:30, Dragon in 2:20, and Top Esports are sending some of that vision back towards this bottom side, and I like this. Given a huge amount of setup, considering that RNG already have so many dragons. Are we just going to fight? Top Esports would do that, wouldn't they?
Oh, of course, is Way now being the one to posture to look for the engage. Bin and Wayward both kind of hovering towards mid lane, looking for these angles. Bin definitely would have been the one to come off with a better flank from how far forward TS were pushed up. So they do just decide to back off. And we've quickly gone from 2 turrets to none in favor of RNG from 3 to 2. So nice to see Top Esports able to pick up some gold back. They are still about 1.5k gold down. But Baron going to be up soon. Dragon going to be up soon. We're going to start seeing where these teams' priorities lay. And you'd expect for RNG, going to be down towards that Dragon.
Oh, yeah. And now that we've got a Mountain Soul as well, we can see now Leona. The stats are going to come in nice and handy. 2-item Tristana, by the way. Gala's been playing this one pretty comfy. And I don't know. I feel like we should have set up a poll through you know, our audience or asked around a little bit. You and I were talking a lot about Knight versus Xiaohu. So far, Corki versus Sylas, not much has happened. It's actually a Sylas is picking up tier with the changes as well, which is kind of interesting. Lyric, forget my story point. Tier on mid lane Sylas, something we didn't see before it changed into like this big ability haste item.
Yeah, really interesting too, because we haven't seen too much Sylas. Even the Sylases that we have seen haven't really picked up this item just yet. Obviously, going to do greatly for the scaling, right? Like you said, the getting ability haste equal to your bonus mana, pretty cool. Getting off those rotations of spells more consistently is one of the biggest things about playing Sylas. It's why you do see Sylases pick up like a stopwatch in Azania's, guarantee more rotations of spells to be able to get that lifesteal from your W, find more lockdown on your E, but package is up. And that feels like the most important thing going on right now.
Yeah, 15 seconds to a dragon, and that's why. You can see the Ultra Shock Laser over the wall from JackeyLove trying to poke them out. Top Esports actually taking a bit of damage, though, and getting scared of Xiaohu. This 2-item Corki has just picked up the Lunzeko. Doing quite a lot of work. Wayward at half HP. Not so immune now, are you, Gwen? As they're checking brushes and Top Esports, they're over vision everywhere. RNG have done their due diligence.
Yeah, both teams still posturing. Wayward going for a recall. Is going to be able to TP in.
All right, let's see how we go. RNG grouped up as one. Bin, though, he's on the wing. You talk about a 4-1, but within the river itself, we're already seeing that seat playing out as Knight is on the back end. Dragon started off the engage. Actually there, Bin now going right on in. The Shuriken Flip doesn't connect. And for RNG, they're backing off of this Dragon. Top Esports have priority, but it's stolen by Waste. Stop point acquired as Gala goes on in. Gets the reset as well. Exhausted, but down he goes. JackeyLove has already pulled the lightning crash out, and movement speed begins. Look at this little mosquito in the night. Buzz around your ear. Top Esports have 4 members alive. They've taken 3 lives. For that Dragon, Top Esports open up a world of opportunities.
That was some JackeyLove energy coming out from Gala. I forgot which AD carry I was watching for a second. TES, pure benefit, able to get a Baron off this. RNG at least were able to smite away the Dragon, which does put them on soul point. I think Top Esports going to be happy with that one.
Well, can Xiaohu get anything here, though, in front of the Baron? 2 versus 4. It relies on Bin as well. Xiaohu wants to poke them down with the blue buff available. Won't have a chance, but at the moment, still getting low into the pit. Top Esports have to be careful. Bin going back in. He's got Knight. He'll trade it off. It is secured by the Hecarim, but for Top Esports, they're playing it risky around the bush.
Still, TS, they get the objective. They're going to have the Baron on Wayward, who will be playing inside. So they're going to have Baron on their core members going to be playing with them as well. We're going to go into this team fight because I really like the way that Top Esports played it so slow, forcing Xiaohu to use that package before it times out onto the Dragon, so not having that same tool there. And now you're at a point where it's like, hey, that big thing that dissuaded our engage is down. We can look for the all-in with the steal coming out from Way. He gives up his life. But yeah, that was just crazy. Gala, my God, going absolutely psychopath right there. Again, channeling stole JackeyLove's energy, slapped it right back in his support's face, and JackeyLove said, thanks.
He did. You better believe it. JackeyLove was able to get lightning crash.
JackeyLove benefiting from someone playing like JackeyLove.
Never happened before. Well, to be fair, actually no, LWX doesn't channel JackeyLove energy. Is that to say recent finals history?
You know what would be great? I'm sure in an interview, JackeyLove will watch that clip like, yeah, I have no idea what Gala was doing there. It's like, you do that every week, man.
That's like the shy being like, oh, I don't hear.
Oh, engage though.
Oh, RNG getting knocked up. It's on top of Wayward. Top Esports. Bit of return damage on top of Wayward. When it becomes lightning to poke them down. And look at JackeyLove still heading forward. Lightning crash available. Xiaohu has a big one. Oh! It hit Mark. There's the dredge line. It lightly doesn't connect at all. I thought it was tippy toe. For Xiaohu, he just wants to poke them down as they run away. So Top Esports blinking health bars. And that's their Baron play kind of stopped them at the track.
Yeah, not going to be able to get anything off that one. For RNG, they can put it back to how strong Bin has been in these side lanes. Keep pulling a Wayward to this lane. You have a small window where you have TP, and I don't think it'll be useful in the situation where there's no like shallow objectives, like objectives close to your side of the map, right? All outer turrets are already down. Dragon not up yet, so just reset's going to be coming out, and we're just going to be in a good usual place of setting up for the next fight. Vision control in this game is massive, especially for the way the top esports composition wants to play, of having these champions like Hecarim and like Sylas trying to find their way onto Corki and Tristana. So yeah, we're going to be looking at if RNG can keep their flanks good, can keep bot and mid pushed out, or if top esports can find a way in there.
Well, I think so far, you know, top esports have been pretty inventive with the angles. People like Knight, people like JackeyLove as well, being able to pass behind Mark. At this point in the game, gold is pretty much even. We're at another game where gold is even again. But RNG have one benefit at the moment. RNG are on sole point. Top esports next dragon is a fight no matter what, so the clock's ticking. I'm curious to see what RNG do now that they've denied a big Baron play. 1,500 gold is all the top esports get.
We're going to be looking at the next fight is, you know, stopwatch already available on Knight. And again, like you hit on the Seraph's Embrace coming out, not something we typically see. We already mentioned the ability haste, but I forgot to mention the other part, right? Having that heal along with it, definitely synergizing with your hit. For Sylas, which typically, right, second item Sylas all the time does go Zanya, so now instead picking up at a third, typically would be followed up with something like a Rabadon's Death Cap, so maybe look for it next. Is another fight.
Ming caught out, that stopwatch gonna be used, but teleports as well. Solar Flare to disengage, but JackeyLove's joining in the play. It's Zeri who picks that one up, and JackeyLove now 2, 3, and 4. Top esports right in front of the Dragon timer. Lyric, they've got themselves a 5v4.
We were hitting on how important this vision-controlled bot-side jungle would be for both teams. It enables top esports to find easy picks, and if RNG had it, it dissuades those picks from being able to happen, makes it hard to walk in. For RNG, they're going to trade Soul to look to capitalize on top side.
Okay, well,
I feel like they should be able to get a turret for this, but, you know, top esports are happy to deny Soul if the only cost is one turret.
They're only leaving Wayward on it for now as well. So for RNG, there you go, turret picked up. Remember the Xiaohu probably not going to get any usage out of this package either. Able to push out mid, but as well as this Dragon, excuse me, for top esports, Knight's pushing bot, and he won't be matched for now. So feeling pretty good here as a trade when you deny a Mountain Soul at 26 minutes in the game.
The game has really changed gears, hasn't it? Early game was like, okay, we are fighting every chance we can get. We are having 3 or 4 fights, and then we're going to have a bunch of replays to cover it. Now, both teams playing pretty well around the enemy's strength, right? Top esports find a pick, so RNG are like, okay, we can afford to give up some dragons, get going the opposite side. Earlier on, when Xiao was the package, top esports recognizing that, saying, hey, we're not going to fight into that, we're going to play it slower, so I like that we're seeing some decent things from both sides, as well as items coming out across the board, right? Titanic Hydra on JackeyLove, another Zani's Hourglass up for Wayward, so a lot of ability to buy time across top esports champion lineup.
Yeah, sneaky little devil here, isn't he? As Mark goes on in. Again, the dredge
Flash
line
Gala
there, but taking away the buster shot. Knight wants to send someone packing right back onto way with the abscond of Duct, and away he goes. Xiaohu's joined on in, though, with the Valkyrie on top of Knight. Aggressive as always. And RNG, they really want to start this one up. Tian is out from the wing. RNG pings are going towards the Baron. I mean, they want this river under control themselves.
RNG going to keep pushing it. I mean, they do have that poke they can utilize.
Whoa!
That range advantage is nice.
Flash center played from Ming as well.
Chunked.
Was so close. And with that chunk as well, RNG, do they continue forward? Or is it now Baron territory?
No, they're gonna, it looks like they want to continue. Ming's still walking aggressively forward. As I want to say, that initially started off in favor of top esports because you traded Mark's Flash for Gala's Flash.
Yep.
It looked great. Then the fight kind of meandered a little bit longer. That's where members like Xiao were able to start joining in. Your cooldowns are already blown on people like Mark and Knight, and Xiaohu's just able to get that free poke off.
Force rampages through the river as well. So a couple of flashes blown after the couple of trades. Mark, Gala, Ming is there as well. Apart from that, Knights too. Actually mentionable to trade off too. So Lyric, here we go again. Baron's still there. I'm going to ignore Baron. I'm going to point out that actually we don't always have to ignore Baron. With a Corki and a Tristana, you do Baron really quick. You'll smash that Baron. Always
You do.
worth keeping out.
There's also a lot of ways to get into Baron, and the thing I'm mostly afraid of is like if Knight is able to steal Ming's ultimate again, right? You're all locked in a little pit. Suddenly the solar flare comes up from Knight is bin. Gonna look for the solo kill. Not gonna be able to find it.
No.
You know, top Esports lineup does have a lot of healing, so we already see a ton of grievous wounds coming out from the side of RNG. Both Bin and Way picking some up. When you have Hecarim, Gwen, and Sylas on the opposite side, I think makes a lot of sense.
If Tian's going to hold this position he is, top esports moving into jungle. Now, it doesn't look like he was spotted getting to this angle. RNG are grouped a 3-man mid, and Tian is running at them behind turret. Hasn't pulled the trigger yet. RNG, the pings are coming down from top esports. They're in between two turrets. Way spots him out with a ward, though, and suddenly the play's just done. Top esports get the turret, they back away, and get a little hyphy over where Tian was. After I saw cleared last series, Lyric, like, it's natural.
You know, one of the benefits of top esports losing things like top tower already is like, hey, we see Bin Split pushing up a top side, doesn't mean too much. As, yeah, top esports going to go for the Baron.
They are. TP's coming
Bin
through
trying
as well.
to find a TP on the opposite
and
side.
It's a great flank over the wall. Tian's there. They want a 50-50. It is secured by top esports, but now looking for Bin to get in the fight as RNG. Health bars are burning down quickly. Top esports, the skirmishing comp you talked about, Lyric, absolutely free low at this point. JackeyLove has decided to crash on down, and that is going to be it in the kitchen sink against RNG.
And that fight was just massive from both Tian and Wayward. Tian running in with the E, able to, you know, hit onto multiple members, then follow up with the ultimate. Wayward as well, dealing so much AoE. Top Esports are going to try and capitalize and take a mid lane inhibitor turret.
Xiaohu looking at him with a package, dude. He wants to threaten him out with a W in. Wayward steps up, though. Xiaohu lines it across. But the path does nothing at this point, apart from his poke. Try and clear away the minions from crashing down on that tier 3 turret. So, Lyric, the game no longer at a stagnant point. Baron picked up top esports with a 4K gold lead. And you're talking about Tian in this fight. I want to look at it again.
We're going to see the flanks come in, but TES are able to finish Baron first. We see the W pop to buy the Gwen, which is making it, you know, so the members of RNG can't deal damage. But there it was. It happened so fast. Tian going
Mosh
in,
pit.
finding an angle in. And yeah, Mosh Pit is a great way to describe it. You have Hecarim bringing the CC, and then the follow-up AoE from Wayward. JackeyLove, I'm sure, doing a ton of damage in that fight as well. Perfect setup from TS.
It comes back to what you talked about with how top esports want to play this game, given the perfect fight. Everyone grouped in together. Remember that lightning crash? The stacks to build up in that fight, so easy for JackeyLove too, who now has bounty and 3 items with the Wit's End picked up. They've also denied the Mountain Soul twice now against RNG. Gold lead's not as much as when we threw to that replay, about 3,000 and then some in short change. But top esports have control of this game for the first time. It feels like Wayward with a bounty, Tian with a bounty. 4 items on Gwen. Lyric, all I can say is snip, snip, dude. RNG are about to get cut.
Especially when we see Right drop to W, and then Xiaohu just throws his hands up like, hey, what can I do to this champion? They're instantly zoned away, and we talked about the amount of engage for the side of top esports as well, so it's not like they can just posture in front of Gwen all day. They'll need to back off. We do see them right now choosing to trade by having Bin pressure up in the top side. They know they won't win a fight in this position against top esports.
Yep.
They're just trying to make them lose something on the opposite side by forcing in that wave.
Well, at least they clear away a couple of minions from approaching that next turret, but top esports assaulting on 2 fronts. Bin able to push that wave in close towards the inhibitor turret, but now as he backs through, RNG content on holding their base strong. Level 17 Akali is who I'm going to watch, who's close to a rabbit on death cap. Because Knight can't really do too much from this angle either. So, Lyric, they're going to back off. Baron play ends there. Xiaohu make it a little bit difficult to do so, but hey, a 4K Baron play at 33 minutes of the game, still not too bad.
Oh, I think it's massive coming out for the side of top esports, getting closer to those, you know, more big item power points. Because now we see a Void Staff there for Knight. Not you know, a ton of magic being picked up on the opposite side, but still going to be hitting quite hard at this point in the game with the levels people are at, with the amount of base stats they're hitting, right? So for Knight, I think he's definitely a huge threat, despite the fact he does only have 2 kills right now. Xiaohu needs to be scared of this.
Yeah, he does. Knows they're in there. I got a little bit excited because, again, Knight comes in after the Phosphorus Bomb would have spotted him out. So, trying to play with timing here. And for top esports, again, I think a big part of this game, Lyric, and how we see it play out is this guy on our screen. Tian returning back after his pretty abysmal subpar start in week 1. I'm not even sure if he played week 2 of Top Esports.
No, and for Tian, right, we hit on how, at least lately in his career, he's had a very small but effective champion pool. The most recent one was Viego. Before that, you go back, it was the Hecarim. When the meta was Hecarim Udyr, Tian pretty much always gravitated towards this Hecarim pick to try to be more of a menace in the straight-up 5v5s. And he's been able to find that same impact now that he did back then, where FPX did make a run to finals in 2021 spring with Tian.
It's also funny because going up against Way today, like, we know that FPX versus RNG in recent form has been a pretty exciting couple of finals, but more importantly, you know, Tian now on a new roster, showing Top Esports how to do it in game number 1 as RNG on their base defense. A team that's sitting 5-1, under pressure now from Top Esports, and continues to get pushed lane by lane. But I guess, Lyric, we're just going to be doing the same thing we'll be doing all game long. Wait for these neutrals to come up and fight over that.
It's because RNG have, you know, a great amount of wave clear, right? Between the Corki, between the Tristana, you don't really have much range on the side of Top Esports. So if RNG effectively decide to turtle and not walk past their turrets, Top Esports can't really force the issue. With no neutral objectives on the map, there's no reason for RNG to, you know, get too willy-nilly, get ahead of themselves, walk out of their base. So trying to get some more break points under their belt as well. And it seems like a good time to remind people, right? Because there might be people just tuning in that Wayward, pretty much completely new player making his debut, popping off on this Gwen so far. Great to see out from the LPL rookie.
It really is. Again, Wayward debuting is a big deal when Zoom sits on the roster, when Tian sits on the roster. There's 3 top players in Top Esports. Oh, Tian's doing it again, but pings are going down. They know Gala's open with a rocket jump, and Xiaohu on the trail. Tian backing away after Horsey decides to go back. Lyric, I've only ridden a horse once in my life. However, my partner loves horse riding, so I'm going to be doing that soon. Apart from that, Ming walking into face check, has to flush away. Again, watch out, Tian into the back line. The onslaught of challenge is huge as lightning crash once again. Watch out for JackeyLove. Knight gets through as Wayward is just sending everyone forward. And JackeyLove right into the turret. That frontline Zeri pays for it with her life. But Tian lives strong. Wayward buying time. And RNG, the lightning, sure did crash on their head.
We were interested to see JackeyLove on the Zeri because you know he's always going to aggressively walk forward. We got to see it there. Trades his own life. They got 3 kills on the opposite side. This equals out to another dragon for the side of TS. And when you're playing this kind of composition where it is all about the all-in, it is about finding the engage in your head, it just makes you feel like you can force the issue at any moment. We are going to go straight into the replay, though, so it all panned out. It is Knight catching out Ming, forcing the flash out from him, and then Tian instantly comboing it with his the ultimate hitting a multi-man fear. I can't believe Tian didn't die, and this is where JackeyLove popped off. Is overcharged right now, consistently getting those Qs and, you know, charged up auto attacks landed.
Here we go.
And here it is, Top Esports trying to force a fight.
Yeah, but Xiaohu has a package. Lyric, Xiaohu has a package, and Top Esports know it. It lines down Knight, zones him out, but Xiaohu in the middle of 3 people. The Soulflow stolen and used away. Xiaohu goes into GA, but Knight zoning himself out to heal with the Kingslayer, but Ben executes him. RNG are back. RNG are back in the game, and Tian knows it as Gala goes over the wall. He's got himself a rocket jump, jumps back in. Royal never give up.
Yeah, RNG, they find a way into the fight. Top Esports going for the Baron, but not able to secure it without their star 80 carry there. JackeyLove might die again.
Well, he's over the wall. At least this time he can skip over and heal up, but RNG head right back onto the Baron in this game. It ain't done. I don't know. No. I don't know who the fat lady is. That's the thing, but it just ain't done.
Yeah, I mean, for RNG, they at least should be able to equalize on the gold lead after this one. And when we were hitting on how their composition does have a lot of the wave clear, it's going to feel so oppressive. We're going to see here what is happening. I mean, they start at Baron right off the bat. JackeyLove is not here, so Xiaohu feels comfortable going for this package play. Does have the revive coming out from his GA. They're able to pick up these first instances of kills, and Gala here jumping in when Tian is on the opposite side of the pit, and he is so fed right now, able to secure the kill. RNG at Baron. RNG gonna start pushing in these waves, start sieging down some turrets.
Dude, I can't believe that they're back in this game when Top Esports have had control for the past 15 minutes. And I look back at items. Gala has a GA, but he's full build. Gala is full build at 404 CS. Now, that's impressive. JackeyLove also full build as well with a GA, guys. And I think we're at this point where even though there's a Gwen and an Akali in the game and a Corki, Lyric, I think 80 carries are going to make it with how these fights are going.
Oh, of course, right? It's going to be all about the amount of DPS being able to come out. Gala, you know, assuming you are just both free hitting stagnant targets, Gala will put out more damage, but that is not the point of Zeri's kit. It is being able to kite and dance around the fight with all that mobility, dodging skill shots, being able to get in close range to burst out low health targets. So for Top Esports, the game plan still stays the same. I do feel like RNG are a little bit favored now with the map state in this position. They can just layer out their range damage with these baroned up minions absorbing the blows from TES.
I mean, Xiaohu's just penetrating Tian right now. There's nothing he can do, and as RNG walk towards Top Esports, TES have to pay the price. They have to pay the respect.
Great choice of words. As, yeah, TES... You can see Tian's angling for a way into the fight, but at the end of the day, they're just going to have to accept it now. You're getting more cannon minions stacked up. They're going to be able to go for the single lane push. Doesn't matter if they don't have side lanes pushed out, but for Top Esports, they're making the right call. As Tian, you still need to posture for it, and if RNG commit to this inhibitor turret, you kind of just have to, you know, throw everything to the wind and say, hey, if we just sit in this position, they're going to get our inhibitor for 100%. We have to look for the engage. We have to make it volatile, and we need to try to win the fight. But RNG noticed that as well, and they just decided to back off.
Okay, so we reset once again, and of course, talking about the Void Star from Xiaohu. Magic penetration huge, right? And right now, Tian not ignoring that much damage. So it feels like Xiaohu is one of the biggest threats. Level 18 as well. Even though I was just done talking about Gala. Lyric, don't get the wrong idea. No one should get the wrong idea. 50 seconds, still Dragon. Focus on that because both teams are on sole point now. Top Esports have had the last 3 consecutive. Wayward actually getting run down a bit by RNG. Has to go into the mist. Comes on out. RNG will be in river first.
Yeah, you know, I'm just too focused on the weird builds we're seeing tonight as Knight now also has Force of Nature.
They begin.
But Mark goes in.
Backline on top of Gala. Tian wants to go on him as well, but he sends Way back instead. Everfrost in the back. Look at where Knight is. He's got the Crescent Guard himself as Mark. Gets low, has to get out, but Way is the jungler. He needs to survive for the Dragon fight as they go on in. Top Esports, they're so separated. Xiaohu with the package here trying to do it all, and he might just poking them down. JackeyLove left in the middle of RNG, and this fight went from bad to worse. Top Esports, how are they going to lose this game?
I don't know, but RNG now going to start looking to push spot. They can pick up Dragon, have Soul as well. The RNG have full control of the map. There's 50-second death timers on JackeyLove. So looks like they're just going to say, screw the Dragon. We believe we can find the end, and heck, I think they can do it.
Okay, well, Ming in first, waiting for the rest of RNG. The minion wave shortly coming with them. It's only Tian here without the onslaught of shadows to save them. As who's going to take it up? It is Wave for now. They run on in, but Tian is just shadowing around. Mark up in 5 seconds. It's going to be close. And it is. And the health bars are already blinking for Tian. On top of Ming, the solar flare's there. Wants to kill the minion wave, but RNG ignoring him completely. Onto the turrets now with the Nexus exposed. Buying time, but Tian goes on down. Gala has that open Nexus, and he'll be blasting it down. Royal never give up. Reigns true in their name for game 1.
I just want to know what someone put in the LPL water today because, man, we are getting some absolutely crazy games. Last series, this series, game 1, back and forth, throws upon throws, some cool mechanical executions, some very interesting builds coming out on both sides. At the end of the day, RNG do take it. As you pointed out, that fight at the end, Top Esports getting so scattered, RNG just pulling and picking them apart, only losing Bin in that fight. Realizing, hey, it might be a close call. We have a Tristana, we have a Corki. We believe we could just finish the game right here. And RNG came in the favorites. The fact that this game was so close, I think a bit of props to Top Esports because, again, they're bringing in a rookie to the top lane role. Mark literally just joining during the Chinese New Year break. And, yeah, that was a nail-biter.
It was. And, you know, there's going to be a lot to break down because I think for Top Esports, losing control of that game is real rough when we saw how they were going through with the sieges in the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. Top Esports had control. They pulled the reins in on the Baron, and made some really good decision making, but then it all fell apart. And we got to that late game
Also
point.
at a Baron.
Well, yeah, also at a Baron. So, hey, LPL gold graphs today, and always, like, look at it. Beautiful mountain.
And what a surprising amount of Corki damage and Corki impact of this game. Who could have ever guessed that this would happen? But no, seriously, I mean, RNG coming in with a plan, right? They realize, hey, we're going to go for an early Corki pick. We're willing to give over the Zeri because we do have this Tristana already. That's also what was able to secure them the pick of the Akali against the Gwen, because they knew they had a deeper AD carry pool to be able to bring out something like this.
Yeah.
And, you know, it started out shaky. They did find their footing in mid-game. But thankfully, to a top esports throw, RNG able to close it out in the end.
Yeah, after a game that, you know, like really delivered throughout mid-game. Being real, though, Xiaohu's damage, that's huge. 40,000 damage. The Corki, more than enough of onlineness. Not even sure if that's English.
Oh, of course. It's not.
You know, Brain's getting to that point. I don't know, you and I are only onto our second series, but...
Me and you always get the long days.
If
it's going to be me and you know it's going to be 3 series days. But, you know, back to the match real quick, just to give some props. Also, even though TS lost, Wayward is new. I think Wayward overall had a solid performance. He was getting a lot done in team fights with Tian. So we're going to be looking at those two in Game 2, barring that Top Esports don't make any roster changes, right? Because we actually have no idea. I think if you are going to bring in roster changes, you should at least commit to the roster for a whole series. Give them their chance to make a mark. And, yeah, just leave it in RNG's hands to adapt or make changes to your roster.
Yeah, because if you know, want to bring in someone like Wayward, who, again, had a good time with Tian. There was good synergy up in that top lane. There was a very good start. I think as well, you know, Tian got a lot of props from us in that game, despite what happened throughout the last couple of fights. For top esports, again, we have been seeing issues with this team holistically, with people like JackeyLove and Knight not having the same performances that we expect of, you know, one's a world champion, one is a world's representative. How far can top esports go in this series? That's my question. We're going to go to a break. When we return, see if RNG can clean themselves up in the early game, or if top esports can do the same and take it through to the finish line without dropping the ball.